el fuego que arde tu piel. Soy el agua que mata tu sed.
In the deserts of northern Mexico, something was changing. Not loudly, not visibly, but permanently. This wasn't just another cartel story. This was the moment war became professional. They weren't ordinary traffickers. They were soldiers, elite, trained, precise. Once part of Mexico's most powerful military units, now working for a cartel. They would be known as Los Zetas. To understand them, you have to go back to the 1990s. The Gulf Cartel controlled key routes into the United States. But in 1996, its leader, Juan Garcia Abrego, was arrested, and everything collapsed. Power struggles, betrayals, violence. Leaders rose and disappeared just as fast. Authorities believed the cartel was weakening. They were wrong. From the chaos, one man emerged. Osiel Cardenas Guillen. Ambitious, ruthless, but he understood something others didn't. Power needed force. At the same time, Mexico deployed elite soldiers to fight cartels, highly trained, specialized, built for war. But the system was broken, low pay, corruption, no loyalty, and some of those soldiers crossed the line. One of them was Arturo Guzman de Tena. After meeting Osiel, everything changed. He became Z1, the first Zeta. Then came the order, I want the best. And Z1 delivered. Elite soldiers began defecting, not for survival, for power, for money, for something bigger. They became Los Zetas, not a gang, a private army. Military structure, codes, discipline, strategy, Z1, Z2, Z3. They operated like a war unit, inside the underworld. At first, they protected Osiel. Then, they eliminated his enemies. Then, they started taking control. Osiel made a move no one had made before. He gave them a share of the profits. That changed everything. Now they weren't just soldiers. They were partners. City by city, they expanded, fast, precise, brutal. Their target, border cities, gateways into the United States. But one city mattered more than all of them, Nuevo Laredo. At one point, over 40% of US-Mexico trade passed through it. Thousands of trucks, every day, each one an opportunity. Control the city, control the system. But Nuevo Laredo was already controlled by a group known as Los Chachos. They didn't fight like cartels. They operated like a service. You pay, you pass. Simple. Even powerful groups relied on them, including the Sinaloa cartel. But Osiel didn't want access. He wanted control. In 2002, everything changed. A deal turned into a trap. Zeta operatives were ambushed by corrupt police. But the Zetas weren't Obichny targets. They responded like soldiers. Coordinated, tactical, efficient. They survived. That was the end of negotiation. Days later, the order came. Take the city. Convoys entered Nuevo Laredo. Black uniforms, masked faces, military precision. This wasn't intimidation anymore. This was war. Los Chachos were hunted down, their leader captured and executed. The city began to fall. But this victory triggered something bigger, much bigger. Because Nuevo Laredo wasn't just a city. It was a lifeline for multiple cartels. And behind the scenes, an alliance was forming, a federation of power. Now, the Zetas had just threatened it. This wasn't just a cartel war anymore. It was a collision between empires. And somewhere in the shadows, a new figure was rising, unknown, unseen. But soon, impossible to ignore. Because the next phase of this war would be even more violent.